Okay guys, I'm back. In my last video, I said that I was glad that the Vita was in the position that it's in because it made me widen my horizons when it came to playing different kinds of video games. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the kind of games that I've been playing outside of my usual games like, shooters and racers and action games. Okay, first up is a roguelike game called Sorcery Saga. And this is the first roguelike game I've ever played. It's a really fun game, really funny game with really quirky characters in it. You go through your levels, finding weapons. You can upgrade your weapons, and if you die, you get sent right back to the beginning. I highly recommend this game if you can find it. Sorcery Saga. This is a series of visual novels called Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. This is number 1. I've got number 2, and I've got the spin-off, which is actually a third-person shooter. Number 3 is coming out later this year, and I'm pretty excited for it. But if this had came out when the PSP was alive, I seriously doubt I would have ever picked it up, or if the Vita was getting the kind of game that I usually play, I probably would have never picked this up. But it's a fun game, visual novel. These kids are trapped in a school and they have to kill each other in order to get out. Really good game. Number 3, Mind Zero. It's a dungeon crawler, kind of like the old Persona games. Really good game. Some of the scenery is a little bland, but the gameplay is really good. And when I play RPGs, I prefer more real-time action versus games where I pick something from a menu, then the other guy does his thing, then I do my thing. I prefer real-time action RPGs. But this one was a really good dungeon crawler. I really recommend it. I know some folks don't like it, but I thought it was pretty good. And it's probably because it was my first time playing a game like this. And sadly, it ends on a cliffhanger, which we'll never get a sequel of. But that's for a different video. That's Mind Zero. Ragnarok Odyssey Ace. A hunter game. Kind of like the Monster Hunter series. Once again. Soul Sacrifice is a hunter game. Freedom Wars, a hunter game that actually uses guns. Tokiden Kiwami, which is an expansion of Tokiden Age of Demons, and part 2 of this I believe just came out last week for the Vita and PS4. But all of these are hunter games, kind of like Monster Hunter, that I would have never played because I never played the Monster Hunter games on PSP or the God Eater games on PSP. So chances are I would have never played these games if they would have came out during the PSP lifespan, or if the Vita would have gotten the kind of library that the PSP had. Trails of Cold Steel, parts 1 and 2. I haven't played them yet. I think I played a couple of minutes of this one. And of course number 2 is still sealed up, you can see. But they're RPGs. Really long and really good from what I heard. And Once again, I would have never played a game like this, you know. I like RPGs, but I prefer games like, say, Diablo type RPGs. I like those kind a lot. Or the old school Final Fantasy RPGs. Deception, Blood Ties, another puzzle action game I would have never played, you know, had the Vita been as successful as the PSP. You know, if first party would have stayed with it and third parties would have jumped on the wagon, you know. Demon Gaze, another first person dungeon crawler. I would have never played it, you know. And Dungeon Travelers 2, another dungeon crawler. As you can see, it's still wrapped up. I haven't played it yet. But number 2 comes out later this year. I would have never played these games, you know, if the PSP, if the Vita would have done the same levels as the PSP, you know. So in a sense, I'm glad that the Vita is where it's at. But at the same time, I wish we could have gotten, you know, ports of the really big AAA games, you know, or at the very least clones of them, you know. I wish we could have gotten really good versions of Resistance from a developer that really cared, you know, really good Call of Duty ports, you know, a Demon Souls or Dark Souls port, at least the first one, you know. But it is what it is, you know. And I seriously doubt Sony will do another handheld anytime soon. But, you know, I've got my money's worth out of my Vita, and there's still some good titles I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the third Danganronpa game. I'm looking forward to Assault and Sanctuary coming out soon. I'm looking forward to VanillaWare's 13 Sentinels. I'm looking forward to, I think there's like 1 or 2 more I'm looking forward to. So, I've got my money's worth, you know. And even though the Vita didn't do what I wished it would do, you know, I'm satisfied, to be honest with you, you know. And that's it, guys. That's my end of my review. Thanks for watching.